Hello and welcome to DBC Reads. Today I'm going to be telling you about a series by Marie Force. Now, it's the Fatal series. I got these books from the Colleen Hoover bookstore, and which is closed now, unfortunately. So, but I got them in like a surprise pack, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks good." When I pulled them out, I got 1 through 3. They all look very spicy, and they get spicier as they go. In fact, here's book 4. But let me just tell you, I read book 1. It has a novella, just, that's for some reason stupidly at the back of the book, but it's a prequel, so I read the end of the book first, technically, and then I started at the beginning, and I was like, wow, I love this story. This is great. So I was really excited about it. And then I moved on to book 2, and it just keeps going. The intrigue and the mystery with a little bit of spice. It really doesn't get that spicy, but it's a little spicy. And like then you see their careers are taking off, and they're receiving promotions. They get engaged. It's wonderful. In the third book, they get married. They again see that their careers are, they're elevating in their careers, which is really cool. And they have to solve another murder mystery. And then I was like, okay, this was really good. I kind of want to read the rest of them and see what happens. So I got the 4th book. Let me just tell you, I looked up this series. I will have to add an addendum to this video at the end after I look real quick, because I looked up to see just how many books were in the series once I'd gotten into it and gotten started with it, and I was like, wow, there's a lot. She must have a lot of great stuff to tell. So, yeah, I was very excited until I started book 4. Book 1, 2, and 3, they're slowly advancing in their careers. And slowly advancing in their relationship personally, which is great. They solve a murder mystery together pretty much every time because they're in DC. She's a detective who moves up to sergeant and lieutenant and whatever. And he was, I can't think what they call it, but he was working for a senator. Senator? Yeah, a senator. And then the senator dies, like in the first book. And so then he becomes the interim senator, and then he starts to run. And then now they're talking about, ooh, maybe he should run for the presidency. Maybe he should be vice president. And so, like, I figure by the end, like, he'll be the king of the world. I don't know. Because that's kind of what it got to be for me, was I started reading the 4th book. And you can see I didn't get very far. This one I got from Walmart. So that's why it's a little bit different. It's larger. The pages are white and not the recycled brown paper. So they're back from their honeymoon. And again, there's some threats to their lives. There's death in DC. And it's of course people they already, one or the other of them always knows the person that died and the murder that's being investigated. And so it becomes personal every time. And like I said, and then they start talking about him becoming, moving into the role of into the White House. I just kind of, I don't know, kind of got burnt out. Like I was really enjoying the stories, and then I realized it was the same story over and over again. They just had advanced their positions. Somebody different died, but they had to know them, of course. Their lives are threatened, and yeah. So I figure she's going to be like chief of all the polices, and he'll be king of the world at the end of all these books. And because I want to know how long, I'm going to take a brief pause. So you'll see a blip. Okay, I looked it up. The Fatal series by Marie Force has 16 books. It's got One Night with You, which is the prequel, which is .5, Fatal Affair, Fatal Justice, Fatal Consequences. There's a Fatal Destiny, which is a small novella. I can't remember if I read it or not, but I think it was at the end of book 3. Fatal Flaw, Fatal Deception, Fatal Mistake, Fatal Jeopardy, Fatal Scandal, Fatal Frenzy, Fatal Identity, Fatal Threat, Fatal Chaos, Fatal Invasion, Fatal Reckoning, Fatal Accusation, and Fatal Fraud. So again, not only are all these things going to happen with the advancement of their careers and having another murder, I figure they're probably going to have about 10 kids by then too. So anyway, I don't know. I just got a little burnout. If you've read this series, I would love to hear your thoughts. If you got past book 3 and actually finished book 4 and beyond, I'd love to hear your opinion. Is it worth the read? Because I'm really struggling to finish book 4. It's been sitting on my counter going, not my counter, my table going, please read me. And I'm like, I just don't know if I can. I can't do it. So maybe we just need a break. I need a break from our characters, and maybe Senator Nick and Police Lieutenant Sam and I can all get along again in next summer. So anyway, I really did enjoy the first 3 books though, but by book 4 I was kind of burnt out because it just was the same story over and over again. So anyway, I recommend at least the first 3 books, but if you've read more, please let me know because I would really love to hear your opinions. Happy reading.